What's going on, YouTube world? This is Team Imperial Phoenix, and we've got another deck profile. As you can see, the starter for this deck is Black Dragon Whelp Vortimer. So, you know what this is? It's Gold Paladin Spectral, so let's get started. First, we've got Black Dragon Whelp Vortimer, but also, as a note, I have a guest with me here today. It's the actual user of this deck, my teammate, Kenn Whitehead. So, say hi to the camera, Kenn.
Hello, camera.
Alrighty, so we start the deck off with Black Dragon Whelp Vortimer. His skill is auto. When a unit named Scout of Darkness Vortimer rides him, you look at the top 7 cards for either Spectral Duke Dragon or Black Dragon Knight Vortimer. From among them, reveal it to your opponent, add it to your hand, and then you shuffle the rest of them back into the deck. Then it has a second skill. When a Gold Paladin other than Scout of Darkness Vortimer rides him, you call him to rear guard. So he's Ride Chain. I think he's like Gen 3 Ride Chain. So he's good. So let's go on that. We're going to go right into the grade 3s now. We run 4 Spectral Duke Dragon. So Spectral Duke is the actual only ride chain in the Gold Paladins as of to date. Now they went out with the whole ride chain idea about right after Spectral came out. His is Limit Break 4. CB2, choose 3 of your Gold Paladin rear guards and retire them. At the beginning of the close step of a battle that this unit attacked a vanguard, you may pay the cost. If you do, stand him and he loses Trend Drive. Then if you have the grade 2 Black Dragon Knight Vortimer in your soul, he goes up 1,000. Spectral was actually pretty good in his day.
Actually, in today's meta, he could still be good. I will not lie, he still can be good, especially with some of the newer Gold Paladin units coming out. So
true, because set 8 is on the horizon, scheduled for release in early October here in America. So you never know. We're still getting a little bit of spoilers here and there, but we haven't seen a whole lot of golds this time. Granted, gold's got a major spot in set 7. Now here's one that a lot of people do run with Spectral. Sunrise Ray Knight Gurguit.
now in some deck builds, he can be the boss unit if you want him to be. But in this case, for this deck, Spectral is. Right. Spectral's got the spotlight this time. But don't get me wrong though, just in case I run Gurguit, just in case I mess up the right chain by any chance.
Right, you still got an 11k base.
There's still a backup grade 3.
Alright. So we're going to a skill, which is GB2 Counterblast 1, Soul Blast 1. At the beginning of your guard step that this unit was attacked, you may pay the cost. If you do, look at the top 4 cards you deck, search for 1 card among them, call it to rear guard at rest, and shuffle your deck. Now, Kenn, is this skill good or not?
Depends. I will not lie. It actually depends. Because you always got that one bad shuffle. And that one bad shuffle is all it takes to just completely mess up any type of formation combo that you're thinking of.
True enough that. And on the upside, you can pull PGs off with this skill, so there is that too.
Now I will not lie, I have done it once or twice in a game, which is why in this deck I do run just a regular,
the old style.
Pretty much the old style PG.
Okay. But enough on that. Let's move on to the second skill, which is the Auto Counterblast 1. During your turn, when your G unit strides, you may pay the cost. If you do, you look at the top 4 cards of your deck, search for up to 1 card among it, call it to rear guard, and shuffle your deck, and the unit gets plus 2k. This can be devastating.
Oh, that skill is so beautiful. Oh my goodness, I cannot tell you how many times I heard this in devastating. Oh my.
Alright, well, not to cut you off, but we need to keep going. This is the grade 2 lineup. We run 4 copies of Black Dragon Knight Vortimer.
Obviously.
Well, you're running the Spectral team. You gotta run Vortimer.
Obviously.
You cut into my territory. Vortimer's in shadows now. Leave it alone. Alright. He's got the skill Continuous. If you have a card named Scout of Darkness Vortimer in your soul, he goes up 1,000 power. So it becomes a 10k base. And then he's got the secondary second skill, Auto. Choose 1 of your Gold Paladin rear guards and retire it. When a card named Spectral Duke Dragon rides this unit, if you have a card named Scout of Darkness Vortimer in your soul, you may pay the cost. If you do, you'll get the top 2 cards of your deck, call up to 2 of them, and into separate open rear guards, and put the rest of the bottom of your deck in any order. Now, just because you look at the top 2 doesn't mean you have to call them both. You can call
them. You can call just one if you want to.
But there's the stipulation, it has to be an open rear guard circle. More often than not in the early game I've seen with this deck, you don't have a field early off, so it's not really that limiting. So that is Vortimer on that. Now let's go into the next grade 2. We've got 3 copies of Holy Mage Powil. Yes, you can pull off a lot of nasty combos with this one. It's the Amber clone for the Gold Paladins, GB1, CB1. When this unit attacks a Vanguard, if it's been boosted, you pay the cost. You look at the top 3, call it to rear guard, and shuffle your deck. Now there's a good thing about G-Golds, and you want to know what that is?
John, tell us, what is it?
It's you don't call the open rear guard. You can call it to an otherwise occupied rear guard, if so be, and possibly get in an extra attack for the turn. This card is awesome. Now granted, it's an Amber clone, and they're kind of starting to phase out of the meta a little bit, but they're still good.
Oh my goodness, are you kidding me? Along with Spectral? Oh my goodness.
Yes, you actually pull combinations off. You can possibly... If you got Powil and you pull the proper combinations off, you can actually have Spectral attack 4 times in one turn. Now this is the last of the grade 2 lineup. 3 copies of Knight of the Faint Sun, Marcia. She has Unite, which is if you call 2 or more rear guards to the 2 or more units to either the Guardian Circle or rear guard circles this turn, Unite is active. It doesn't matter if the card's on the field or not. Unite is active regardless. Next, her skill is at the end of it's continuing in the Unite skill. It's you put it into the soul. At the end of each turn, you may pay the cost. If you do, countercharge 1. So at the end of the turn, you can put her into the soul and you'll countercharge. That's not bad. You do a lot of counterblasting with the Spectral deck, so it kind of balances out. Then the second part is she has resist, so she can actually be not be targeted by effects such as maybe even an unblockable Diablo swing where you have to sacrifice. So it's kind of a hit or miss situation, but it prevents her from being retired also by other effects. So Conqueror players, watch your back.
But even then, the beautiful part about it is, even if you don't have anything, you have to countercharge. You simply just toss into the soul.
Fair enough.
You still toss into the soul, just in case.
Or you could just ignore it and keep her on the field because she does have resist.
Hey, it all depends up to the player and what they're planning.
That is true. All right, let's go on to the grade 1s now. We've got 4 copies of Scout of Darkness, Vortimer. This unit is if you have a black dragon Vortimer in the soul, he goes up 1k. So he's an 8k. He becomes an 8k base if you stick to the right chain. Next, he has a second skill. Choose one of your Gold Paladin rear guards and retire it. When a card named Black Dragon Knight Vortimer rides this unit, you may pay the cost, and you have a card named Black Dragon Vortimer in your soul. You look at the top 2 cards of your deck, search them, choose up to 2, call them separate open rear guards, and put the rest of the bottom of your deck in any order. I'm starting to notice a theme here. It's the Vortimer ride chain, folks. You kind of expected. He's got the same skill as the grade 2 when the next evolution rides on top of him. So next we're going to go into the Sentinels. We run 1 copy of Holy Mage Irina and 3 copies of Light Formation Liberator Air Drag. Now, there is a reason behind it. You've got 3 regular PGs and then 1, what is a quintet wall, which actually kind of phased out there for a little bit. There used to be all the rage back in the day.
There is a reason though, John, because look at the second skill though.
Right, let's go ahead and look at Irina more closely up. So 3 PGs, they're Sentinel, you drop 1, you can nullify the attack. Nothing new there. Irina is what's up and coming. It's a quintet wall, yes, but she has a second skill. You choose a card from your hand and discard it. When this unit is placed on Guardian Circle from the deck, you may pay the cost. If you do, return this unit to your hand and call the top card of your deck to Guardian Circle, and that unit gets an extra 5k shield. So on an off chance you end up pulling her from another Guardian skill such as Gurguit or not a quintet wall, a G Guardian that we will be showing later, she goes up, you return her back to your hand to use later on, and you call the top card of your deck to Guardian Circle and it gets 5k. Now granted, yeah, you could possibly call it grade 3 on top of this, but it's okay. You get her back to your hand to use for later, so it's not all bad.
It's not, no.
Alright, next we run 3 copies of Sunshine Knight Jeffrey. Jeffrey is amazing.
Oh my goodness, I cannot tell you how much he has helped me, not only with hand power, but just
a little bit of extra soul there.
Just a little bit extra soul, a little bit extra hand power. I mean, hey.
Yep.
He's the whole thing.
Alright, well Jeffrey is a GB1 Unite. So we've already gone into the Unite discussion with Marcia, but you put him into the soul. At the end of the battle that he boosts, you can put him into the soul, and if you do, you draw a card from the top of your deck. This guy is amazing. You lose field power, yeah, but it also makes him not become a target for Kagura players, just in case, you know, you come up against that guy that always likes to retire. But you get extra hand power out of it too, so it's a win-win.
I gotta tell you how many times he's pulled me out of a situation.
That you are right.
Goodness.
That you are right. Next, we run 2 of the Stride Fodder, Dawning Knight Gurguit. Gurguit is also your grade 3 searcher. He, when you call him to a rear guard, if the opportunity arises, but the thing is you have to call him from hand. That's the only thing I don't like about the new grade 3 searchers. You have to call them from hand. When you do, you reveal a grade 3, search your deck for up to grade 3 card with Gurguit in its name, reveal it to the opponent, shuffle your deck, and choose a card from your hand and discard it. Now the thing is the reason I also like the grade 3 searches is you don't have to ditch the grade 3 you reveal. A lot of the older grade 3 searches that you did, I'm going to use Blaster Javelin for example, you had to reveal a grade 3 and drop it. And when you dropped and you lost that grade 3, you couldn't use it again. And with the grade 3 searchers now, you can discard whatever card you need, you know, a dead trigger or, you know, just something you don't need at the time. So he's really good. Next is, when he's paying for the cost of Stride, his grade goes up +2. So again, he's the Stride Fodder for the Gold Paladins, and he searches Gurguit. So it's not all bad. And lastly, Knife Throwing Knight Maligant. Good lord, the Soul Blast 2, Countercharge 2. This guy can save a lot of players' lives if you use him right. Oh. There's another combo that we could possibly go into later. If you use him right with Pawil and Spectral, that this guy can be amazing. Gold Paladins like to counterblast a lot, and especially with this deck, you build the soul up pretty fast if you're doing your combos in the right order. So the Soul Blast 2 really doesn't affect you. So, granted he's a 5K, but it's still, he can boost. So, that's all on that. Next, we'll go into the trigger lineup. Now, this trigger lineup is not normal. We're going to start with the crits. We run 2 Air Raid Lions and 4 Flame of Victory. So, yes, this is a 6 crit deck. Air Raid Lion is just a simple little crit trigger, so we don't need to worry about him. But we'll focus on Flame of Victory. We have 4 copies in this deck, and he is basically a Margle clone. When he goes, you put him into the soul from the rear guard, you choose one of your Gold Paladin rear guard, you choose a Gold Paladin unit, and that unit goes up +3k. Again, I go back to the fact is, this deck, you can soul charge. You have that soul charge engine. Granted, it's not as fast as some other decks like Dark Irregulars or even Pale Moon, but even still, you can build the soul, and it can get devastating with this deck if utilized correctly. Alright, next we're going down to the next triggers of the lineup. We run 6 draws, 2 Speeder Hounds, and 4 of the Peeping Rabbit. But in this instance, you could run any draw trigger. Preferably, you should run the draw trigger that was released alongside Spectral, Falcon Knight of Azure, which we do not have at the current moment, but we plan to possibly get it and replace it in this deck. But as of this moment, we're running 6 draws. Hand power in the Gold Paladins is a must. Otherwise, you possibly could not survive. And lastly, as any good deck should have, we got 4 heal triggers. We're using Pharmacy Witch in this deck, which was the heal trigger released back with GBT03 when Gold Paladins made their G-Era debut. Pharmacy Witch has always been a soft spot to Kenya's heart, am I not wrong?
Oh, you have to say it like that, but
I mean, she saved you more oftentimes than any other Gold Paladin trigger you've ever had.
Pharmacy Witch has got to be the first heal trigger I've had that shows up more often than not in a tight spot. I can tell you how many times I had those crits hitting. And
this coming from the woman who used to run Bluish Flames. But we'll do that deck profile another day.
Ooh.
Alright, now we're going to go right into the strides. We run a 1-of tech of Golden Knight Ibrakas. Can you give us a little bit of the lowdown on Ibrakas?
Okay, well, Ibrakas is once you stride on him, you pretty much count blast 1, soul blast 1, look at top 2, call 1 to rear guard, and the other one goes to the bottom of the deck. Fortunately, you know, yeah, you can't shuffle, but hey.
Well, that's why you run Gurguit, because then you do Gurgit's skill, which is another CD1.
Ibrakas is best used when striding over Gurguit because use him first, call the unit, the other one goes to the bottom of the deck, then with Gurgit's skill, who, you know, hey, the right. Forward, call, shuffle.
So you get a good shuffle.
So either way,
putting him on the bottom of the deck doesn't kill you.
It doesn't.
Alright then.
It doesn't.
So that's the first drive. Next, we're going to go into another one. This is a 2 of 10 Golden Dragon Spear Cross Dragon with the new 16G unit limit. Good gosh, this thing can get devastating. Can you give us the lowdown on Spear Cross?
Alright, I'm going to take one just because I can't remember everything, but with Spear Cross, once you strengthen him, Counter Blast 2, and pretty much Persona Flip. Get it top 5, and for every face-up card in the G-Zone, you call one from out of that 5 cards.
So possibly if you have up to 5 units face up in the G-Zone, 5 or more, you get to call them all.
John, I will not lie, and you can testify to this. I've had many tight spots where I've pretty much nothing.
Yep, nothing on the
in the rear guard and get
straight into Spear Cross, boom, fill that field.
Next thing I know, full formation, I'm ready to do a devastating combo. Spirit Cross, basically Spirit Cross is basically 2 of. I mean, if you want to get all 4, you do a play set, but me, I prefer only 2 because really, he's more like that devastating like unit. You know, you got that one unit that you want to use at the end game. Right. That's what he is to me.
Fair enough, fair enough. He's also a good counter to players who like to retire the opponent's field. Kagero, Narukami, players like that who like to mess with the opponent's field. This guy comes back, gives you the field to possibly come back even harder against them.
Basically, you want to screw with a Kagero player or a Shadow Paladin player who wants to retire? Yeah, use him.
Alright, fair enough, fair enough. Now this one, I believe, is quite close to your heart because of how devastating he can be. We got 4 copies of Golden Dragon, Scorch Point Dragon. Good gosh, this guy can win games. I'm actually going to go into the lowdown on this one. Scorch Point is on stride when a unit is placed. Okay, basically the turn he's stricken, for every time a rear guard is placed from the deck, both him and the rear guard called go up an extra 5k. So lines can be devastating. Good gosh. This guy, I've seen you get this guy up to like 50 something. I believe at one point. Almost 60 something.
Actually, I think the highest I've actually went is probably about 56, 58.
I was about to say, yeah, I was about that.
Trust me, use to will with him. Oh my goodness.
Lines can become devastating if you do them in the right way. Alright, next we're going to go into the on-hit. We've got 4 copies of Fast Chase Golden Knight Campbell. Now we run 4 Campbells because really, we hate to say this, but due to financial and personal reasons, we do not have a whole lot of G units to work with. But even then, Campbell's a good unit. It's on-hit, look at the top 5 cards of your deck, search for one of them, call to rear guard, and the unit actually gets an extra 2k. So he's an on-hit Gurguit, pretty much. So that's not bad. And next we go into the weird text. We run a 1 of Maju and 1 of Harmonix Messiah. Maju's in the deck because 1, we're running Spectral. He's got a 10k base. So Maju is you ditch, when you ditch for stride, and your Vanguard, if you have a heart with a 10k power base or less, you actually look for your drop zone, search your grade 3, and add it to your hand. Harmonix is good for, you know, if you want to go into that beatdown, so that's not bad either. But more often than not, they're used as fodder. More often than not, they're used for fodder as G assist. Now, finally, we're going to go into the G Guardians. We've got the MVP of this deck right now, Golden Beast Slaney Flare. Good gosh, this unit has saved some lives. Oh my gosh! Now, his skill is you choose one of your rear guards, and you put it at the bottom of your deck. Next, you look at the top 5 cards of your deck, you search for up to 2 cards among them with different grades and call them to Guardian Circle. You can pull PGs off this, folks. I have done it myself in previous matches where I have tested with the Gurguit deck with Slimy Flare. Good gosh, this unit can save lives. Tell me I'm wrong.
So if you're not wrong, I've done it so many times where I have pulled a PG and it just saved. It basically saved my behind.
Yep. I think actually there was one, it was, I was using my Diablo deck at the time. I was going in for a Spectral Swing.
I screwed with you and I was able to... Actually,
you pulled the PG off of it.
Speaking, in a match, I've actually done it twice.
Actually, yes, because you did it the first time against my Spectral Swing, which actually was the second Spectral Blaster swing of the game. And then the second one was when I go in for a Diablo swing, a Phantom Blaster Diablo swing for kill, and you Slimy Flare me, and I'm like, yo, okay, then
and honestly, to say about Sling Flare, for any gold paladin player, if you're using a stride deck,
use Sling Flare.
Please, for the love of...
At least run 2 Sling Flares. At least run 2,
but if you can drop the money, get a full play set, because this sucker is beautiful.
Now, I'm sure you've noticed we do not run the Gurguit stride. Again, that's more for personal and financial reasons. But if we had the opportunity to get a hold of it... Don't be like that. Now, the thing is if we had the opportunity to run Gurguit, we would, because he's a great unit. We'd also run possibly a couple of other Gold Paladin strides. I know there's one getting ready to come out, the Glorious Rain Dragon, which is like a glorified Spear Cross, which we have looked into. It is amazing. But as of this moment, this is the Gold Paladin deck. So, hey guys, we'll catch you later. See you on the flip side.